Well, fam, welcome to this edition of the Live Art Creation Session. I'm your host, Sho. You already know. And this next artist I'm about to introduce, one of the most, I say this all the time, but I mean it each time I say it. But again, another incredibly skilled artist, one of the most skilled artists that I know, right? One of the most technically savvy artists that I know. A master of a bunch of programs. But aside from that, right? Sometimes an artist just has something that's undeniable, right? Anyone can do a style, but when it comes to flavor, when it comes to vibe, when it comes to sauce, no one can duplicate that, and this artist has it in spades. He is an avid cigar smoker. He is he's a master at creating pieces that bring you into worlds you never thought existed, but he makes you feel like you've seen him before somewhere in a poster, a dream, a movie, something. So with all that being said, I would like to introduce Cartoon Advisory.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys all so much for having me on. Like, this is incredible opportunity. Like, I am so excited to create with everybody, and for you guys to kind of dive into my world a little bit and see how I do what I do. Thank you, Sho, and then thank you for the whale community for kind of putting this together and allowing artists such as myself and anybody else that's been on to kind of showcase our work. I know that, I personally really appreciate this because I'm in my room, pretty much all the time. I don't really, I have friends and whatnot. I'm not a loner, but people taking an interest in what I do is something that means a lot, and I hope that you guys enjoy the show as much as I'm gonna have creating this, because I have something really dope planned out.
Awesome. All right, let's get to all the things, shall we?
Let's do it. Here, hold on 1 second. Let me delete all this. Boop. Cool.
Hey everyone, would you mind clicking on Cartoon Advisory's name, and you'll see a prompt that says watch stream. You can click on that, and his screen, the screen that he's sharing of the program that he's using, will pop up.
Just let me know whenever I'm good to go, and whenever we're ready to start.
Oh no, we've started already,
good
sir.
To go?
We've started.
All right, right on.
This is it right now. You're live, my friend.
All right on. So just to kind of walk everybody a little bit of my render settings. I don't know, for any of you guys that know about render settings and whatnot, I try to render out at 4K, 4320 by 4320. That just gives me a lot of room to play with. I can shrink things down, and then the resolution I like to go at 600 DPI. I tested some prints out recently, and I'm not sure if it was on my end that the pixels came out a little pixelated and a little grainy, so I'm trying to experiment a little bit, upping that up. I wish I could show you guys the picture that I have in mind here, but I think we'll just go ahead and start. Nope, not a cube. It's not what I want. I have a sphere here. Crank up the segments a bunch. And then if you guys have any questions at all, any input, whatever, you guys have, feel free to chime in. Feel free to say whatever, man. I am totally open to criticism. I'm open to ideas. I love working with people. I kind of feed off of other people's energy. Like whenever I'm working together with people, like I think that the idea my computer has been acting so weird lately, dude. I don't know why.
We'll definitely get to that. We will open up the floor to our community members to definitely collaborate a little later on in the session. But
For
first,
sure.
first and foremost, let's give a little background on you, just so they know who you are and what they're watching right now, right? While we kick this
Right.
thing off. So Orlando is a huge city, right? Is there a big crypto art scene out there?
Honestly, man, like I other than Glass Crane, you know what I'm saying? He's another Orlando homie. There's really not much of that really going on, man. Like me and Glass Crane were kind of the only two that I'm aware of so far. I know that Lane Digital is roommates with Glass Crane, so I'm sure that he's gonna hop on. I'm not sure if he's already on Rarible. I think he minted a piece the other day, if I'm not mistaken, his first piece. Um, but as far like other than that, man, like not really. Like I tried to get a bunch of people. Like I have a bunch of artist friends, like even traditional artist friends that would have literally like rocked it in super rare back whenever they were still kind of, I don't want to say like as lenient, but you know what I mean? Like now I've really been hearing about a lot of my friends, a lot of homies that do graphic design, do 3D work that don't that haven't even gotten accepted just because of the amount of artists that are getting accepted now. And
Well,
like the quality of work as well, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not even just like the amount, but just like the caliber of work that's coming in is just next level, dude.
in terms of super rare and the like, the whale community knows my feelings on um, certain crypto art platforms and their policies.
Yeah.
So yeah, just know that it's not necessarily a matter of skill set or ability that comes with
Mm-hmm.
that. Gatekeeping as a whole is an issue in our community, and eventually it'll be rectified, and there'll be more options for people. So I'm sure that your homies who have applied, they will get in. It's not a matter of numbers, and it's not a matter of artwork quality or being outclassed by anyone. So just know there'll be future opportunities for them.
Yeah, no, for
But
sure. That's what I tell everyone too, man. Like don't get discouraged if they say no. Like it's not a no, it's just like a give it a second, like just hold on, like let time kind of sort itself out for sure. I understand what you're saying.
yeah, but man, I mean, if Orlando churned out Glass Crane and you, like, what is in the water? What?
Like as
Crazy.
soon as I found out Glass Crane lived here, I was like, there is no way, dude. Like that is insane. Because I don't know. I mean, there's another artist called Synthestruct. She was an old instructor of mine when I went to Full Sail. It's crazy because she was a Photoshop teacher, but she ended up teaching like after school courses on like processing and touch designer. And like during all that time, I was like, yeah, like I already know Photoshop. Like let me learn some cool shit. And we like hit it off, man. And like to this day, like we're really good friends and whatnot. Like she's not really involved with like crypto as much, but she's like world renowned. You know what I'm saying? Like she's before COVID, she had been traveling around. Like she had plans to go to like Japan and Europe and set up installations and stuff like that. Like she's been doing that for a couple of years now. She's a huge inspiration. Um, but yeah, man, like that. I don't know what it is about Orlando, dude. We just got some heavy hitters and like even like some of the like some music too, dude. Like I have some of my best friends. Um, their moniker is Easy Baked. They're a duo, and like those are another two cats that are just like. I mean, even before COVID, they were just touring all over the place. Like they just came back from like their third tour, like headlining and whatnot. Like there's something about Florida, man. Like Florida's just a place.
Yeah, I feel you. I low key wish that I lived out there. I mean, I'm further up on the East Coast though. Um, So okay, you mentioned a few things there, and I'm curious. So your first foray into art was through the woman that you mentioned, or was it well before that?
No, actually, man. So I got started with more along the lines of like just going to shows and just partying, really. And uh, it was at one festival I remember, man. Like I was kind of on my own because I tend to like just do that for whatever reason. Like I just kind of go on adventures. But I was talking with some of the homies that were camped out next to us, and they were just kind of telling me their whole scenario and like what they were up to and like what they've been doing for the past couple of years. And like they were like almost, three, no, not three times, but they were like almost twice my age. And it kind of hit me. I was like, not to be judgmental or anything. Like I'm not like I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole here, but um, I just kind of put myself in that position. I was like, well, is that really where I want to be in 10 plus years? Like, do I want to keep just attending music festivals, or like, what do I really want to devote my life to? And I was like, I love partying. I love music festivals. Like, I love the energy that it brings. I love the people that it brings. Uh, and I kind of started walking around, and I was like, wait a minute, like people put these together. Like these don't just magically appear out of the ground. Like this isn't just magic. Like there's groups of people that you know put an effort together to create something beautiful. And that's when I kind of realized, like, okay, like this is a start. And I started kind of diving into graphic design a little bit, like with my phone, a little bit of Photoshop, kind of learning about like what the possibilities were. And then that's when I found Full Sail, and I bugged my parents about it. I was like, dude, like like I was really lost, to be honest, dude. Like I graduated high school like 3 4 years. I dropped out of college twice. Like I was kind of between jobs that weren't fulfilling, like just doing random stuff, like um and then when I kind of brought that to my parents, that was like the first time that they saw like any sort of effort and any sort of um, like just wanting to do something for myself. You know what I mean? Like wanting to like I was excited for something. You know what I mean? Other than just like going and partying.
Mm.
So we looked into it, and eventually we kind of saw how expensive it was, and they kind of broke it down. They're like, all right, well, if you really want this, like you're gonna have to prove it to us. So I went out and got like 20 grand in scholarships, and I
Mm.
was like, all right, well, here it is, dude. Like this is like I really want to fucking do this. Like this is what it is, man. Because like I like when they told me about it, they were like, I was like, okay, yeah, like let me research a little bit, like let me see like if this is really something that's worthwhile, or if it's just like another scam. Like, oh yeah, come to school and we'll hook you up with a job, like whatever. But like after looking into it, like I went and took a tour and stuff. I was like, dude, like this is honestly like the place that I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like the place that I want to be at. Like this is a place that I need to be at. So like I took a toll, like I took a stop on the partying, dude. I was like, is this, like I got to do what I got to do. And for like a year and a half, like I just stopped smoking weed, like stopped drinking, like stopped doing all sorts of stuff, dude. And just like was hitting the books heavy, dude. Like was on time to class, like was asking questions, like I. It's weird because the way that Full Sail is set up, um, it's a month by month program. So you go for 20 months, and then you get your bachelor's. You know what I'm saying? Like you go through all the courses necessary to receive your bachelor's, and then but it's just like kind of accelerated.
Mm.
Though I was by myself, like just me and the instructor for like 3 months out of my time there. And like during that time is really when I like fell in love with what I was doing, because like that's when I started learning motion graphics, and that's when I started learning like the stuff that I really really wanted to do. Like my teachers even kind of like put me ahead a little bit and were teaching me like how to do projection mapping and how to, you know, they were just really like betting on me to you know, succeed. And to this day, man, like I'm still really, really good friends with a lot of my instructors. Like we talk like not almost every day, but we talk on a regular basis. Like we check up on each other. Like they really became like a family. And in a time when I was just really, really lost, man, and I was really scared, and I was like, dude, like, is this, you know, graphic design, bro? Like I hear about, you know, you hear about so many stories of people like going to school for art and then like end up being fucking waiters and you know what I'm saying, like wasting all this money. And like I was just really, really scared, but I was like, I can't be scared because, you know, this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I looked into. Like this is my dream, man. So did the school thing, you know, graduated. It was super awesome and whatnot. Like during my time in school, I actually like became really good friends with another VJ from out here. His name is VJ Omni, who he's actually like one of my best friends, man. Like we talk like more than we should, really. It's kind of weird that like I never thought that I would be friends with my instructors and whatnot. Like I was never like a good student in school. Like I skipped school and would try to leave like every single chance that I could. So like it's just really funny to me that like I made that complete turnaround whenever I just kind of like found something that I was passionate about. You know what I mean? Like that's, I don't know, that was always a really like revealing and kind of shocking moment to me. I was like, damn, dude, like this is really what happens when you like when people kind of find their passion and kind of like find what they want to do. So ever since I started school, it just kind of like I felt like I've been in the right place and just been doing the right things. And I mean, the universe, like God, whatever you really want to call it. I don't really want to get into that here, but you know, whatever you want to call it, I've like signs and coincidences and you know, whatever have just kind of led me to where I am right now. Like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like I never would have believed that like I'd be designing something right now in front of I don't even know how many people are in right now.
We have many.
But, yeah. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like this is like a dream come true, man. Like again, like I want to thank every single person here, like for taking the time out and like joining in on this, like watching me do the weird stuff that I do. I'm trying to see what we can do with this guy.
Okay, there's thank you for being vulnerable enough to share all of that with us. You know,
yeah, dude, if I'm talking too much at any given moment, dude, just be like, hey man, like, all right, moving on.
No, seriously, this is the opposite. I'm being truthful here. I was actually gonna say that was, I'm pretty sure that's really inspiring what you just shared. There are many of us here in the whale community, and certain people are at various stages of their careers or their passions. Mm-hmm. And to hear someone be open and honest about their come up and about how they weren't too sure about what was going on. They weren't sure if they were being negatively influenced by people, if their interests that were fun or like whimsical, if they were conducive to a positive future. You know, it's really important, right, for people to understand that you don't always have to have all the answers, you know. And an artist can tell you, just like Cartoon Advisory just told everyone here, I'm speaking to everyone, that like it's only a matter of time, you know. Like people may judge you, they may say certain things, you may not have all the answers in the moment, but when it works out, it works out. Like it really does. Like all the pieces start to fall in place. You start to realize that you had skills that you never thought about, and it really is the artist's journey. You know, it takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of balls, and you'll hear a lot of people tell you everything but what you really need to hear in the moment. But then once you find that thing, you'll find it, and you're going in, like, you know. So yeah, man, that's really admirable, you know.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. And yeah, man, for anyone out there that's like doubting themselves, like for anyone out there that like, you know, thinks that they may be in the wrong path, like go with your heart, man. Like your heart will never guide you. If this is what feels right, man, like if this is what, guides you towards happiness, guides you towards friendships, like if this guides you towards a light, don't ever stop. Don't ever, you know, don't ever let that doubt, don't ever let that fear get in the way of your future. You know what I'm saying? Like it is literally all in your hands, and it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I understand. Life is not easy for everybody. Like I'm not. I'm not.
Hey, bro, your mic cut out. We'll just give him a moment to fix that up. While Cartoon Advisory adjusts his stream, I will also say that he also gave you an example of how even his parents was like, they were like, hey, you really have to prove that you really want to do this. They may have thought that maybe they were worried about him too. A lot of times when it comes to great artists, family members and friends they're always worried about you. They want you to like get the 9 to 5, and not everyone, but many, and it could get really stressful and daunting, to hear people say the opposite of what you need in the moment in order to inspire you to keep going in the right direction. So the fact that he stepped up and he realized that there was a synergy there, that there was a positive resonance at Full Sail and with the people that he met and the mentors that he associated with, is super dope, super incredible. Hey, Cartoon Advisory, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, man. Like my computer kind of had a little spasm.
It's all good. It happens to the best of us, man. All right. Let's let's shift gears a little bit. All right, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, because I keep saying your name right, and it's really long. I like it, but I'm kidding. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cartoons. I love cartoons, right? But first off, what's the origin of your name?
Dude, honestly, like it's honestly like the weirdest story ever, man. Like I was working with a homie on a music video for him, and it was for a contest. Like I forget, it was for the No Sucka MC contest, and this was, I forget how long ago this was. I actually, like, the memory on Facebook popped up the other day. I was like, oh man, that's so funny. So whenever we got done with the video, he put it up on SoundCloud, whatever. He's like, hey man, like I need a cover art for the song on SoundCloud. I was like, yeah, for sure. So we were making the cover art, and he's like, oh dude, put the parental advisory thing on the bottom. And I was like, okay. So I put it there, and I, like, just joking around, I was like, it'd be cool if it like said something different, like if it said like something that like matched up with each letter. And I was like, what about like cartoon? And then like he kind of like wrote it off. He's like, no, dude, just put the normal thing. Like don't like don't be weird. I was like, oh yeah, word. But like I don't know why, like that name just like rung in my head, like it stuck in my head and just rung with me. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna mess around with some graphics. So I took apart like the Cartoon Network logo, and I took apart like the parental advisory thing, and I just kind of like put them on top of each other, and I was like, huh. I was like, that looks kind of tight. So then
Wow.
I took apart like the advisory thing, and I typed it out. Like I found the Cartoon Network font, and I typed the advisory thing on it, and it literally like lined up like perfectly, like either perfectly or it was like one letter off, and like I just kind of made it look like it was like a perfect fit, and I was like, that's like weird because like I'm big into like numerology and like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like things synchronizing and just things kind of lining up. So then like I just kind of, the name stuck with me, and I was like, you know what, dude, like this sounds kind of cool. And I brought it up to a couple of homies. I was like, hey man, like you think it'd be cool if like my artist name was like Cartoon Advisory? And he's like, yeah, like I kind of like that, dude. Like, and then literally like that's how it was born, man. Like it's like the silliest, like the weirdest little story, but like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like it's strange how like things just kind of appear. And this is again like why I love collaborating, why I love like working with people, because like that idea never would have came to if I never would have, you know, opened myself up to like working with my homie. Because like we had another homie that was like is really great with videography, and he was filming music videos at the time. And like my buddy hit him up, and our boy was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it for like X and X and X amount." Like he was really trying to like nickel and dime us. So I was like, honestly, dude, like I can fucking do what he does, man. Like I'm not gonna be an asshole and like I'm gonna help you out, like try to win this contest, bro. Because like if you come up, like I'm not gonna like try to ride the train, but if you come up, I come up. Like I don't understand like what he doesn't, you know, see in that. So you know, just kind of like I love how like things just kind of like chain into each other, and you can kind of trace your steps back and see where, you know, where things started, man. Like it's great.
Hey man, just so you know, right? Every artist in this space, right, or just everyone in the metaverse, period. We all have our either our identities or our avatars or our nicknames, and they kind of define us and also our brands, right? It's not
Totally.
it's not a weird origin story, you know. I mean, hey, a good superhero needs a great origin story, and that one is actually pretty dope because while you were saying it, I was kind of putting the pieces together in my head, and I was like, oh man, I see where this is going. This is so fire, and I was like, oh, this is so perfect, and it makes so much sense because when the parental advisory sticker was originally introduced in the early 90s, it was kind of jarring in a stylish kind of way. It was kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it kind of shakes you. It grabs your attention, right? Just the black and the
Mm-hmm.
white. And at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, when Cartoon Network debuted in the early 90s, it was the same feeling, right? So like it's also within the cultural zeitgeist, you know?
Yep.
So the fact that you merged that and then you found the synergy again, and we're gonna talk a little bit about esoteria because you mentioned numerology and symbolism too, and I'm on the same wavelength, so we'll talk about that later on.
Right
But
on.
like I already saw that, yeah, once you lined it up and it was working out, like artists tend to have that way about them where you can force it to make it work, or you can kind of find how certain things will flow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, that's like your compass, you know, your guide.
Mm-hmm.
So dude, that's sick, and I like it. I may call you CA as as an abbreviation from time to time, but
For
I
sure.
will instead of giving your government, I won't have to do that. But but yeah, I mean, yeah. Speaking of cartoons, you can go ahead. What's your top cartoon of all time?
I was honestly like a big Looney Tunes guy. Like my grandparents, like I grew up with my grandparents for a little while, and they were really like, my grandpa and me would actually really like watch freaking Looney Tunes like all the time, like RIP. You know what I'm saying? Give him a quick shout out. But I always loved like, what's it called? Bugs Bunny. Like Bugs Bunny's always like, he's a man. And then growing up as well, just kind of like Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids was always like one of my favorite shows, just because like it had so many like it was just so open to like imagination and just kind of like letting kids just run around free with like, you know, coming up with the silliest and craziest imaginary friends and whatnot. Like I mean, I don't want to say like I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, but like I've always been a very anxious person, and I've always found comfort, you know, in my own stuff and kind of like in my own things. And you know, the idea that like other people, you know, also kind of share that same space where like I don't want to say like imagine like I had imaginary friends per se, but you know what I mean? Like just kind of create imaginary worlds for themselves and kind of escape in their own little realms. Like that was always like such a cool concept to me. um what's it called, like now, I mean, I love like adult cartoons, you know what I'm saying? Like I love Bob's Burgers. Like Bob's Burgers, like it's very different. Like I love Rick and Morty as well. Like I'm a big uh Rick and Morty fan. But
Me too.
like Bob's Burgers is just like like their humor is just like so funny, and just like you can just do so much with animation that I love. You know what I mean? Like even like I look up a lot to like Pixar animations and like Pixar Studios and DreamWorks and like all the movies that like come out with animation, because it's you know, to a little kid like that, like they're not going to understand like literally the amount of time and hours and manpower that it takes to create an animated movie. And I try to like instill that in my little sister. Like whenever we watch movies together, I'm like, hey, like look at that, like look at the way like the hair is like moving and like the way the lights are affecting it. And like I try to get her a little bit like involved into like the magic that actually like goes into these things, and like why these things are like so magical, dude. Like I like Pixar is something that like is a studio that like I want to visit for sure. Like I want to like take a tour there whenever that's possible. But yeah, man, like I just think like animation and like just cartoons in general like allow us to do so much. You know, like they allow us to, I mean, not only do like crazy stuff and like you can think like South Park, where you, I mean, I hate to get so dark, but you know, you can kill people and like, you know, say crazy things and do all sorts of things without, you know, I don't want to say like without consequences, but like, you know, cartoons are just kind of, I don't know. Cartoons are just have just always had a very soft spot in my heart. Like I've always been able to, you know, turn on some cartoons and you know, relax and kick back.
Yeah, I feel you. Same. Um, yeah, it's great that you brought that up. Pixar and finding the magic in the details. Because I mean, I'm looking at your piece right now. Everyone, please take a look at Cartoon Advisory screen again. And if you're in voice and you're not in, please do me a favor, just click on it one time. Check out this awesome creation that we're manifesting right now. um, yeah, I mean, I felt like cartoons would be a perfect segue into your style and this piece because uh, this subject that you tend to use in a number of your collections, I feel is vaguely reminiscent of some form of Pixar like main character, or actually like a human being too. But I'll get into that later. And I'm curious, how did you come about creating this particular subject? Like this, it looks somewhat like a doll, or like I
Oh,
wouldn't say
that's
a
dope,
child,
dude.
really. Yeah.
So like I like the model itself, I didn't model him out. Like this is just one of the like I found him online. But the reason why like I use him instead of like real people models and like, you know, robotic models, like I have a lot of homies that do like hyper realistic and like cyberpunk and stuff like that. Like uh I mean, part of it is just like marketing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I hate to like sound like an evil genius here. Not that I'm a genius. Like I'm far from that. But what's it called? Like just the idea of like standing out, I think is important. That always caught my attention. Like I've always, you know, enjoyed kind of having my own style and kind of, you know, try. Well, not always, but like I've always definitely wanted to you know, do things kind of my own way and not necessarily like follow suit with what everybody does. Even though like I'm not gonna hate on any sort of style. Like I think everybody that works in 3D is extremely talented, and it's not easy to do. You know what I mean? So, however, you know, whatever you can achieve through 3D, and I think is fantastic. Like I don't like I'm not a hater, um, but I do think that like having no expression kind of leaves room for like mystery and kind of like leaves room for interpretation. Like, you know, I would really love to hear once I can get these, you know, printed out and kind of out into, you know, some more public shows and kind of get some more public eyes on it. I would really love to hear like what people interpret it as and what kind of people think like his dilemma is or what kind of scenario he's in. Like I don't necessarily go into it with any emotion in mind per se, like, but I do. I don't know. I think these little guys, just kind of stand out, and they're really fun to play around with too. Like they're all rigged up, and it's fun to just kind of like imagine what they would be doing in the scenarios that I place them in.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because the great thing about this subject, okay, there's a lot to unpack here actually. So it's well, I'm gonna go back to the beginning and revisit what you said in terms of marketing, and yeah, I don't really think of it as you like or like anyone like hating on anyone like that. I don't think anyone was thinking that. It's more a matter
No.
of in terms of a brand, right? Again, the same way how
Right.
you noticed parental advisory being, it's actually a brand, you know, and it's
Right.
and it defines a particular generation. Same thing with the Cartoon Network logo. That's a brand. Just like you're the eye, right? And the fact that you chose the black and white, that's just in line with those two those previous logos, and it's still vaguely reminiscent of those things, right? That's another brand choice, right?
Hmm.
Um, when it comes to an artist finding their muse, right? Their muse comes in all shapes and sizes. Some artists that we've spoken to in the past, they use animals. Some make a conscious choice of not using a subject, but yet using the entire landscape and having that serve as their subject, which is a thing. Um, what's really awesome about your choice of this particular subject is the fact that you're able to you trust the audience to project thoughts onto this character, not due to their facial expression or their body movement, since they're lacking all of that, right? But you
Right.
allow them to fill in the space. You know, it's like, hey, this is the subject, and this is the environment that they're in, and then you're allowing them to connect the dots on their own, which allows them to interface and interact with your pieces, which I thought was genius. So I will say personally that you are a genius because I see it. I see the through line here, you know, and it's actually it's prevalent because this character pops up in a couple of your collections. You know, it's not just yeah. So like you like in some of your collections, you and I'm gonna talk about a few of them. Um, you tend to visit certain ideas and you flow through them, which is great. But this particular one seems to speak to the human condition, you know. So that's going into the
Right.
second part of the thing I wanted to visit, where a lot of times, and then I'm gonna reference esoteria here, where it's like the biggest question that we're dealing with is, hey, what the hell are we doing here, right?
Right.
And this subject seems to be the one exploring that like I guess answers to that question. And then it made me think about the metaverse, you know, and it seems like with your style you tend to capture the future of the metaverse, not even like what we think will be the immediate future of the metaverse, but I think far off. Like, let's say if we discover a bunch of planets and we have VR as a way of life, and it's not even called VR, it's not even called AR anymore. It's just like 3D, like super out there, where we're living full time in computer spaces, you know. So we would
Right.
be this particular subject in these environments, and now we're trying to relive a real life human experience through like we're trying to solve the human condition through technology in the future, you know. So
Exactly.
yeah, what are your thoughts on me totally projecting on all your style, all your pieces right here?
No, no, dude, I love the idea of like the metaverse and like us kind of like us like this being us in the future. Like I've I've never necessarily put it in that perspective, but I think that like one exploring like the VR world and kind of like that idea is definitely something that I want to do and something that eventually I want to dive into. So it's really funny that you mentioned that, but it definitely would like it's pretty much exactly that, man. Like what how would you feel in this situation if like like if this was you, like how would you, how would you interpret uh what is going on around you. Like, how would you react to the things around you? Like, if I have like, you know, in the flowers one, like, would you be amazed by the flower? Would you be scared by the flower? Like, would like, what are you doing at that spot? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many questions that I think about whenever I'm you know, creating the pieces that I would love to ask people, that just to kind of like see what they would be able to come up with, because I love hearing people's creativity, man. Like, I think people downplay themselves a lot, like not necessarily artists, but I think like the general public doesn't really like give themselves enough credit for being creative, man. And like, I think we, you know, us as artists is kind of like our job to push that a little bit, and to kind of um you know, allow people to sort of live inside of the things that we create, so that we can make that connection. You know what I'm saying? I think that connecting with your audience is something that's extremely important. For sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man, like, yeah, I tend to get a little sidetracked. Like, definitely going back to like the multiverse thing, I think it would definitely be interesting to like continue you know, creating these abstract worlds, because for a little bit I was doing the geometric stuff, and like I really enjoyed making those. um However, like, I have had a lot of fun lately diving more into like, you know, a little bit more abstract worlds and a little bit more situational design, I guess you could call it. I'm not really sure like what this would, just abstract stuff. I don't know.
Would you say that your piece, Final Stride, I actually just posted it in the Stream Text channel, but
Awesome.
Final Stride is an example of what I would think is, I mean, someone from the outside looking in may think, who isn't educated on this particular thing, would think that that's abstract, but from our perspective, we see it as us existing in this particular world. Would you say that your piece Final Stride, or your pieces Final Stride, would be an example of that?
Yeah, yeah. So I like Final Stride is like, both Final Strides are kind of like as I was making them, uh, I don't know why I was getting this idea of like the final countdown kind of like playing in the background. Like, I know it's kind of silly, but like, uh, you know, it's one of those pieces that just feels like, I mean, to me personally, like empowering. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of look at it, it kind of looks like an anime battle, like a final battle between, you know, the good and the evil, and I try not to put them together, so that again, like, you can kind of interpret that for yourself. Like, if that's, you know, you facing whatever struggle you're going through, like, you know, don't allow anything to kind of stop you, and keep going. You know, like, like there are some messages in there that I try to like incorporate. You know what I mean? Like, I try to like keep it positive. I try to keep it, well, I mean, I guess like there's a couple of ones where these little guys are flicking the camera off and stuff, but that's just for fun.
Hey, sometimes you have to communicate emotion, right, through your subject. So there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that. Hey, everyone, let's take a look again at this piece, because yeah, I mean, obviously we've been talking a lot, and Cartoon Advisory is skilled at both speaking and creating a masterpiece. So let's all take a look at what is recently developed here. So we have the subject that I brought up before, and the subject, I'm not going to project my thoughts on this, but the subject is within a porous and spherical, I'm assuming a vehicle here of some sort.
Could be a vehicle. Like, yeah, dude. Like, I was thinking more he's like crashing into it, which is why I'm trying to like work on the little indent here. But like, I like the idea of like this being like something you kind of chill on. Like, this is his seat. Like, homie, like, he's kicking it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, dude. Yes.
Hey, Whale Fam, check this out. If you have any ideas or any direction on where you think this piece should go, definitely type it in the Stream Text channel, and I'll relay it to him.
100%. Totally open to ideas. Totally open for the collabos. All that.
Oh, okay. We have a suggestion from Decryptolorian. Shout out to Decryptolorian. He's one of the members of our leadership team here. And
shout out.
He he's also he's an artist in his own right, by the way,
Right
and
on.
he's saying that the subject could be sitting on the world itself.
Like sitting on, like take out the indent and just kind of be chilling on top of there.
Oh no 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 no. So like what's happening right now is cool. He's saying that the subject, like if we think of the sphere as an actual like like yeah, he's saying leave it. If we think of the sphere as like an actual planet, right, and the subject
Right.
is sitting like on slash in it, you know,
Oh
then
yes,
that,
totally. Like this is like he like a giant like resting on this thing, dude. Totally.
yeah, fire.
I love that. He's like, yeah, it's like a giant asteroid. He just looks like, yeah, whatever. Just gonna kick it here on this giant planet. That's really
Mhm.
funny. I love that. Let me see if I can put him inside of there, because like I can push this inside a little bit more. Have him like give him like a window into the world. Pretty dope.
Oh yeah, I totally I totally forgot to ask this. Well, actually, not really though. Okay, so you use a lot of tools, right? And
Yeah, so like I'll jump back and forth between like Adobe, like Illustrator, Photoshop, and then this, and then if I'm using video, like I'll export everything out to After Effects and mess around in After Effects for a little while.
one oh yeah, so to Crypto Lauren is asking which program this is right here.
This is Cinema 4D. Sorry guys, like I didn't. This is Cinema 4D, R21. I believe they just recently came out with R23, which has some like other cool goodies and a bunch of other cool toys that I try not to like jump too much in between versions, even though like me paying for like C4D a month like kind of gives me access to like the updates. But for what like I it's weird because I have to migrate every single project into the new version, and it's kind of a hassle. And I've been a little busy as of late, so like I just haven't really like found the time to like to migrate everything over into new software.
Well, that's a knock against Cinema 4D. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a pain point though. Like, hey, like you're gonna lose customers if you can't make it like if you can't seamlessly transition from an older edition to a newer. You know,
Right.
we were also speaking of losing customers. We were talking briefly off mic about so there are other 3D platforms out there, and I was asking for your wisdom in regards to acquiring Cinema 4D on the cheap, right? Because
Hmm.
would you mind repeating again how much it costs? I guess a month, and then overall.
So I mean, Maxon being like the powerhouse that it is, because I before COVID, I was actually working at a studio out here in Orlando, an ad agency, not a studio, and like even they were using C4D, but it's like 3 grand. It's like 30, like it's I know it's at least $3,000, but I want to say it might be like 3,600. But they allow for like a monthly membership subscription type deal. So that's $100 a month. Um, Plus, if you want to add Redshift into it, which I really haven't, just because I haven't really like I haven't been rendering out like realistic stuff as of late. But that's another like 15-25 bucks. But I mean, to be honest, man, like it's worth it. Like and that like this is one of those things that is kind of like will bring us back to that first discussion. When I first left school, they gave us C4D for free to learn on, and they gave us the educational license, and that educational license lasted up until I think like 2 or 3 months or something like that. Like it lasted a couple months after graduation. So I realized that like in that time I was like, damn, like I need to learn as like keep like work on C4D as much as I can so I can, not lose any of the information that I have. And then that's when COVID hit and I got fired from my job. So I was paying for it monthly already, and I literally didn't know like what I was gonna do. I was like, damn, I was really bummed out because I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to Blender, even though like no hate on Blender, to anybody that uses Blender. Like I have a lot of homies that use Blender, and I think it's incredible program as well. I'm just C4D fan myself. But that's when I found Super Rare, and I applied, and by the luck of the draw, man, like I got accepted, and that's when things kind of like again one of those signs. I was like, hey man, like don't worry, like you're gonna be able to pay for this, you're gonna be able to continue doing this, like just keep going, like just keep doing what you're doing, like don't focus on how, just focus on like what you're gonna be doing, you know what I'm saying? So that was a really cool little like reassurance. And I mean, ever since then I've just kind of been it definitely, selling art definitely has its ups and downs. Like I'm working at another ad agency right now, just working from home. But yeah, man, like it's definitely it's not cheap, but it's well worth what you're getting for it. Like it's definitely a program that I absolutely love. Like I spend literally like most of my day just doing stuff in C4D, just because you learn something new every, like you can learn so many different things. Like I haven't, like I know how to animate. Used to do like I was VJing a bunch right before COVID hit as well, but with shows and events and festivals and whatnot being canceled, um, I don't want to say like there's no need to make content, because like content is always needed, and it's always good to like be doing what you're doing. But I definitely uh, took a break on that and just been focusing on stills. And I mean, eventually the plan is to kind of go back on a bunch of the stuff that I've been doing and animate everything, and kind of build my demo reel for 2020 2021. That's such a mouthful. Like I wish it was just like I can't wait for the day till we can just go back to like the normal abbreviations, because that's a lot to say. But yeah, like I think that's that's kind of the plan for, hopefully by spring next year I'll have like not everything, but have all the pieces that I want animated, and also hopefully by then shows will be back around so that I can show people the animations and then do some cool stuff with them. And yeah,
Cool, man. Yeah, I don't like Blender. I like Cinema 4D because it's way more intuitive, and Blender is just like Adobe. It's clunky, and just because you have a bunch of tools there doesn't mean that it's intuitive. You don't have Being intuitive doesn't necessarily mean basic either, I just don't think that their programs were built with their creators in mind. It's more on the tech side, and not even to diss anyone on the tech side either, because they know function too, But yeah, I don't think that. I just think that they just dumped a bunch of things into their programs and then just said, "Hey, here you go." But anyway, I'm gonna rattle off a bunch of brand new ideas that just came in through the pipeline for little homie, right?
Hey.
Sitting right, because I'm it's coming together. All right, so here's one suggestion. He could have. Oh, not he. Sorry. This subject is genderless, by the way. All genders are welcome here. Let me not do that, and I apologize. Right. So, but yeah, you could even put a little console right next to the subject, like the subject is controlling the planet, like a spaceship, or
Ooh.
like it's a baby carriage and it's not a world. It's possible to put his hands behind it's possible to put the hands of the subject behind their head and maybe cross their legs so they look like they're chilling in the most relaxed seat on the planet.
They're kicking it.
Yeah, like they're just hanging out.
I'm down. I like like the controller idea for sure. Like we can come up with something funky to like
Minority Report.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, dude. Like I know what you're talking about, but like I
What?
haven't. Yeah, man. And like I'm a big like Seth Rogen fan too. Like I'm ashamed that I haven't. He'd probably be upset that I haven't watched that.
Well, the deal with Minority Report, and I'll keep it super brief because it's not about them. It's about you. It's about Cartoon Advisory. Shout out to Cartoon Advisory, blessing us with the fire
No,
right
thank you
now.
guys. Thank you guys so much.
But the best part of that movie is the only part that anyone even remembers is the fact that Tom Cruise had like this super like AR tech that was like it was like a menu that he could pull up and swipe with his hands, and like the hand choreography made the technology look dope. So like
Yeah,
and this was like before its time. So people we
right.
obviously we had sci-fi all the time, but there was just something about this little set of scenes that like inspired so many people. And but the rest of the movie is like whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So one of our members, Can Wolf, shout out to Can Wolf, just said that it looked like Tom Cruise was using a super power glove. You know, like the Nintendo Power Glove. It looked like it was that on steroids. And but it was all blue and it looked dope.
Oh man, that's crazy. And like
Yeah.
it's cool that like they were able to like make that happen before like their time, because like that was probably like a, oh man, like is this gonna work, like is this gonna, because like now, you know, like green screen and CGI and stuff, like, you know, it's everywhere, but before its time, like you had to really be like you had to really like have some balls to send that, because like that could make or break your movie for sure.
Exactly. I mean, it's sad though, right? Because I'm pretty sure there were other ideas that were similar before that too, that probably didn't make it because of how Hollywood and the entertainment industry is. It's more about
Oh yeah.
protecting your position as opposed to innovating and pushing the limit.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have another suggestion from Crypto Dog.
Hey yo.
She's saying that it would be cool if the world around little homie, and I guess homie is genderless. I
Mm-hmm.
use it right. If the world would spin around the subject while the subject is standing upright. So the sphere would spin around them while they're standing upright. I guess that's another suggestion.
Standing like on top of here. Here, what I'll do is like
Or
pull
maybe
up.
maybe within like it is now and it's spinning. But that's only a suggestion though. So
Oh, we could try to like put him a little bit deeper in the thing and just have him like really submerged in there. Let's see what we can do.
okay, yeah. She said she agrees with you. She said while inside to Cryptolorian said in. I'm sorry, Crypto Dog, don't yell at me, okay? Yeah. While inside of the sphere and it's spinning kind of like a gyroscope. I'm thinking that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm digging that. That's kind of like the idea that I wanted to put him inside of here. I just didn't want to like, I didn't know how far I could go with it. But we're gonna test that out. We can figure that out. I appreciate you guys' input as well. Thank you guys so much. Like that's so awesome that you guys are like actually like you guys are actually watching whatever you're like. That's so tight. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, y'all. Let's just take a quick moment to really observe the piece. Just 1 second. Let's just take a look at that.
Oh no.
Cool.
No. Subtract, but this goes on top.
And remember, y'all, just because I go quiet doesn't mean that I don't have anything to say. It's more a matter of giving us a chance to absorb what is going on. You obviously know that I have a bunch to say. So yeah, let's just take a sec to really look.
What I want to do is Give us some different, yeah. Give us a nice little window into what the hell is going on. Dude. And like I'm gonna do this like kind of lazy a little bit for right now, but like I'll definitely like I'll go through the materials and like the process for the how I kind of came about these here in a second, because I've really like I found this really gnarly tutorial on how to do cell shading, which is a type of shading for C4D and just for things in general. Cell shading is seen a lot in comic books now, like web comics and I don't know, like I'm sure you guys are familiar with Breath of the Wild, Zelda, like that. Like that's honestly like the like my inspiration for like why I want to start to do cell shading. Like I thought that like that 3D style mixed with like that cartoon feel was like so beautiful. And like I mean I'm not like the biggest gamer ever, but like I enjoy playing video games, and Breath of the Wild was honestly like one of my favorite games like today. Like I it's weird because like I traded my Switch for for an Oculus Quest. I want to say like
What?
yeah, right, right. That's what I'm saying, dude. So like I found the Switch on Facebook Marketplace. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't mind buying a used one. Like it's totally cool as long as it's in like good condition, whatever. Boom, $200, nice price, brand new. Um, played with it a bunch. I loved it. Like, and then I actually started talking to the Museum of Crypto Art people, like Pablo and Colborn, and they started mentioning all this stuff about Somnium Space and Ioka, and they were like, dude, like you need to get a headset, and I was like, all right, fine, like I'm gonna look into it. Like I know they're expensive, but I'm gonna again like look on Facebook, see if I can find one, like, and literally like just searching, and I found one for free, and I was like, that's not possible. So the lady was like, I want either it was like a Nintendo Switch, or I forget like what else she wanted, like she would like taken the trade for. And like I messaged her, I was like, is it still available? She's like, yeah, like no one's taking it. I was like, people are out of their minds, dude. Like, okay, like I'm coming through like right now. And went over there. Like one of the controllers was a little banged up, which is why I think like she wanted to just get rid of it, because like the controllers are kind of expensive. They're like 75 bucks, and you can only buy them. I mean, I only found them on the freaking Oculus site. Whatever, not a problem. But I mean, I ended up coming home with a freaking Quest for like 270 bucks, which is like, I mean, what they're like what they're priced at now. So like, jokes on me, but
Hey man, you were making an investment, man. So you can't really judge you on that, you know.
Dude, I thought like the lady was out of her mind when I saw that. I was like, there's no way. Like that's I mean, I get it because like they were around the same price at that time. So I was like, okay, like maybe she's not really like that into VR. Like that makes sense. But I don't know, man. Like I just kind of lucked out on that.
Okay, so the first thing I want to address from that was dude, with cell shading, right? That's like that was a quality about your work that, again, man, like I just linked your website in the stream text channel so people can see, and I really like that feel. It gives this like ethereal quality, and that makes me feel like we're in the future. You know, that was one of the major things, like the colors that you use, right? And the fact that you were using the cell shading or something that gave the feel of cell shading made me think that we were somewhere dreamlike, that was like highly highly computerized, highly skilled, but just like super far off into the future, you know. But I like that quality though. I thought it was super dope. um Also, when it comes to Breath of the Wild, yeah, it's a really dope game.
Yeah, totally.
I'm heavy into RPGs, by the way, so I know where you're coming from. I actually know that there are a couple of other games though that are pretty reminiscent of your art style, and also that I'm pretty sure inspired Breath of the Wild. But one of our members also says that a new game called Genshin Impact is we're assuming that it is inspired by Breath of the Wild too. So I'm not sure if you've
Yeah.
seen that before, but if you check that out, I think you'll get a similar feel of the vibes.
Totally. Like my homie actually like this is like the second or third time like I've heard about yeah Genshin Impact.
Genshin, yeah, Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact, dude. Like I definitely got to check it out because he said the same exact thing. He's like, dude, feels like Zelda. It feels like Breath of the Wild, but it's just like a totally new game. I was like, oh, word, I gotta check on that out, man.
Yeah, RP. I'm big on the RPG vibes. Like it's major. Speaking of RPGs though, and we got some more suggestions about the piece. Let me scroll back, make sure I got it. Okay, so we had one suggestion. Can we put a crown on the subject's head so it's ruling the universe from the dopest seat in the universe?
We can most definitely put a crown. Let me see if I can make a crown here.
Or here's another suggestion, or maybe another symbol to represent their rulership, or some kind of like crest. So if not a crown, then a crest symbolizing their, I guess their
the rulership of this little weird bubblegum earth. I'm down for that. What about like a chalice, like a crest? Like what? Hold on, let me see. What is a crest? I'm bad with words.
It's like your in medieval times they would have like their shield, and then they would have the imagery on the shield that's like their family's imagery, so like their family crest.
Yes. Okay. Totally. Dude, you know what's weird? I kind of did want to use like some of the geometric stuff. So would that be cool? Like you think like some like weird alien like sort of what's it called? Crop circle sort of deal would work?
Oh yeah, man. Wait, hey,
Right?
check this out. Wait, here's a better definition of a crest, right? Super simple for you to realize or understand. In the vein of Breath of the Wild, I mean, hey, the Triforce is a crest.
Okay. Totally bet.
Yeah.
Better see if like making this.
I like this red, and then like the gold, the gold inside. I mean, even though I know that those are controls for the layers, it's kind of popping out right now. It's kind of cool.
Totally.
Oh wow!
Once we never add some lights into there too, it'll start to. Well, you know what? Like I was playing around with this the other day, and I like it kind of like takes you out of the cartoon. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like takes you out of the cell shading, but then it shines the light, which has like it has a cool effect. I'm just not I'm not completely sold on it, but I'm also not hating it, you know? Like it's one of those things that's like, I definitely want to like keep experimenting around with that, but no volume, not English volume. What we need to do too is like add it. I always like to like add a camera beforehand, just so like I have like my scene kind of played out and how I want it to be, and then put a protection tag on it, so that way like I can't move, I can't do anything, and that just kind of like leaves that placeholder there. Like that's a neat little trick that learned in school. I mean, I'm sure fucking everybody does it too. Like I don't know, you know.
No,
But
no,
whoever doesn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like the more you know.
no. That's actually you just dropped a gem casually.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
not too many people do that, so that's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, like that protection tag is literally like a lifesaver because like you'll have that like that spot that you like, and then like you'll be playing around, and then next thing you know you'll move, and like you'll see this because like this is like turning it on and off. You'll see, and you're like, oh my god, dude, no! Like I've been in my camera this whole time. Like I just totally like screwed everything up. Like now I can't get it back to the same place. Like it's definitely a fun little lifesaver there. It is kind of annoying having to like turning it on and off every time, but whatever. Not the end of the world.
So we have another suggestions, and so our community members are asking for the little homie to hold a scepter, and the scepter could be a digital controller.
That's kind of like that. Okay, that's what I was thinking when you guys said like a crest for whatever reason, like kind of like something in his hand. Totally. I mean, we can totally do. We can. Did we still want to do the crown?
I mean, hey, these are all suggestions, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
it could be whatever, you know. We also had another one that we could possibly have clouds going around it too. These are just ideas being thrown out.
For
You
sure.
have to be married.
No. Like I like the like the remote idea because we can have them like. I mean, I don't. Yeah, we can. I'm trying to see how we can like make this like a screen, like kind of involve a screen somehow into it, or I don't know. Maybe I kind of like. I don't know. Kind of like him just like sitting in there, but I like the idea of a remote for sure. Like a not a scepter, but like a freaking like a weird totem, something dope. You know, which
One of our community members, Dap Dragon, just says that he demands a crown. He really needs the crown. I'm like, okay, all right. Like you have issues with authority. All right, we get that. Right?
Here, we'll crank that crown out real quick. Let's see what's up with that.
It's like, hey, Cartoon Advisory. It's kind of like, hey, like when you bring friends around, like guests or whatever, right? And it's like, oh my god, man, you're embarrassing me. Like you're like we have a guest, okay? You can't be demanding.
Like you can't just be barking orders out here. Nah, I'm just messing, dude. Bark all the orders you guys want, man. Like I am seriously like enjoying this so much. Like I love like getting some input. I love that you guys are a part of this as well. I think that's super awesome. I appreciate you guys like again taking an interest into my little weird, strange little world. That's super awesome, guys. Like you are all very, very much appreciated. Very, very big, very, very many big loves, all that good stuff. But then we need this. Oh, let's not do that yet. Yep. Rotation. That's the thing that I do, like the rotation segments. I need a lot of rotation segments, but then down. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey y'all, in case you just hopped into the stream right now and you're watching, we're currently building a crown.
Crowd sauce. Oh, did I? Oh, I was off by one. That's pretty good. I'll give that to myself. I usually have to like manually. That's really funny.
Yeah, right. I mean, but I mean, it's barely detectable. I mean, but to us, we see all those things, right? But
No,
yeah,
no, no.
you,
I'm
you
saying
rock
like
that. You rock that.
no. That's it's really funny. I appreciate that, brother. And dude, like, thank you again for like having me out, man. Like, this is seriously so much fun. W is what I wanted to do. Actually,
Yeah, you straight up just eyeball the shape, right?
no. So like all these little lines are segments. So like it would, you know, if we want to break this tube down, it has. We'll start off with a new tube. So this tube right here, if we look, turn this light off. If we look, it has 16 rotation segments, so there'll be 16 of these. Cab segments 1, so there's just one of these. So for this little guy, like there's just a bunch of cab segments. So whenever I do that, like selecting the segments individually usually takes like forever, and like I usually have to like go and do it by hand, but the magic of the stream allowed me to pretty much get it right on the first time, dude, like, which is never happens. It's really funny.
Fire.
Yeah, a little weird. Why is that not? No.
Yeah. All right. So there's a whole wall of gifts right now in the stream text channel, and it's all crown gifts. Everyone is feeling it. They're all feeling it.
Get this going. See what we can do. Oh, let's make like a weird, like it's not going to be like a traditional crown, but it's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be something strange here. Let's see what we can do. And then still, yeah, I'm saying no. Actually, W, don't preserve the groups. Those down. Yeah. There we go. Now we got some sort of a crown. Something going. And then what we can do is, oh no. Oh no. Yes. No. What's going on? Set selection. This is another like super handy trick. Whenever you're selecting polygons and you have like, for example, this circle of polygons selected, and or you want to, or your brain, you know how your brain works, like mine does, and you know that like you can't make up your mind, and you don't know whether you want to keep doing stuff to it or not. You go to select, go down here to set selection with that highlighted. Boom, creates a little tag right here that you can now, if you click on this again, see it's still selected. If you go right here, you click out of it. Oh no, how am I gonna click on all of these again? That's gonna take me forever. Nope. Bingo, right there. Yeah, you're good to go, man. You know what I'm saying? A little something. I'm not like the greatest teacher ever, so I'm definitely trying to like improve on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that like I want to be a teacher per se, but like I think that is definitely important for me to be able to communicate what I do, because I've never really been great at it. I just kind of like do what I do, and then when people ask me, like I freeze up and I'm like, yeah, I work on, I click the buttons and the mouse, and yeah.
I mean, you gave a pretty good explanation of that, so I would say that you do have the ability to teach. I mean, it is a crucial aspect to every artist's ability to be able to communicate the all the points, going from point A to point B, and attempting to educate people that way too. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Eventually you'll not a plateau, but like you'll reach a point when climbing the mountain where the next phase is to educate people while continuing to create stuff, and you start to discover the next lane. The higher level, the even higher tier.
Exactly. Yeah, you got it right on the money, man. Like it's like, and even right now, man. Like, I mean, you telling me that like I explained that well is I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. Thank you. But that's just kind of like, a little one of those like little signs. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those things. Like, keep going, man. Like you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another little like check mark off the mental bucket list. You know what I'm saying? That like not necessarily like I can check off completely, like, oh, I know how to explain everything now, but now, like I'm definitely more comfortable. Like I know that like I'm more comfortable like explaining this to a group and explaining this to somebody if they had the questions. You know what I'm saying? And again, brother, like I'm not gonna stop thanking you for this opportunity, man. Like thank you, thank you so much, man. Like this is super super awesome, bro. And
Oh,
thank you for like the whale community too, man. Like you guys are all so amazing.
hey, yo, just because he's saying thank you doesn't mean we're wrapping it up yet. Not yet. All right.
Oh no,
But
no,
it's
no.
appreciative. But we are at the portion of the session where
Do
we
that.
let our community members ask you a bunch of questions.
Let's do it.
So everyone, yes, if you have any questions for Cartoon Advisory, please post them in the stream text channel so I can see and relay them while we get this crown going. Yeah. Wait, Ken Wolf, would you mind repeating it? I think if it's the question about well, actually I don't remember what the question was. Ken Wolf, would you mind posting that again? Oh, okay. All right. So Ken Wolf would like to know Cartoon Advisory if you've ever worked with After Effects, and if so, do you have any work published online that we can see? So I know the answer to this is yes, but the second part though.
Yes. Yeah, totally. So if you on my website, if you go to I believe my videos are still up there. If not, like I'm definitely gonna go in and
Wait. Oh, Discord being weird again with the audio. But yeah, so while we get that fixed and adjusted, when Cartoon Advisory refreshes his screen, we'll be able to see the rest of the crown. But yeah, so yeah, he does use After Effects. He what he does is he will export certain pieces and import them into After Effects to add a little extra video animated flavor. Yeah, I don't have his Instagram page, but you can definitely find the link to it on his website, which I did post. There you go. You can click on that. New Rose, you missed everything. Yeah, no, it's cool. We're currently building out a crown for a subject in an awesome piece, so you can check that out. Yeah, Photoshop is tiring, but we're actually looking at a piece being built in Cinema 4D, which is a rarity here, right? A lot of times, a lot of the artists that serve as guests here, they use a lot of Photoshop. We've recently had a lot of people use Procreate, that new tool for iPads and the like. And Yeah, so I mean, if we had like boxes that needs to be checked off, we have a ton for Photoshop, many for After Effects, a few for Blender, a new group of people using Procreate, and now we have one person for Cinema 4D, which is fire, but it's expensive. It's like $3,000 to buy the full program, but around 100K. I mean, no, 100K, $100 a month for a subscription. I don't know. Oh, Cartoon Advisory is back in the building.
Sorry
we had
about that, folks.
no, it's all good. Discord can get a little wonky, but he is back in the mix, and we're building out this crown and answering questions. Yes, New Rose. Photoshop is better than GIMP. Photoshop is better than GIMP.
I've heard about GIMP. I've never really given it a try, but I'm just like, again, like it's just one of those things. Like I kind of grew up learning, so I'm a big Photoshop guy, especially for like color correction and stuff like that. Like, just gives me some cool little like post work that I like doing, which hopefully we can get to today if we have the time.
My issues with Photoshop, though, are, again, just like I mentioned previously, it's that it wasn't built intuitively for anyone. It's more a matter of a bunch of tools being thrown into a program and people selling it and saying voila. That is my take on it. So I'm actually not a fan of Photoshop or GIMP. I use another tool, and I won't reveal that one. But yeah. Hey y'all, please, again, a couple more questions for Cartoon Advisory.
We can see that crown perfectly. Nice.
Super sick.
Let's see, now we can try that. They're like a little bulge to form around there too. Wow.
Dab Dragon just said the crown is looking awesome.
It's kind of looking like one of those captain hats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the well, it looks like a bucket hat now too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bucket crown.
No.
What I want to do really is make all of these pointy. Because then that could really that's really hitting it home for the crown. But I think, again, see, this is one of those things, might have to do that
individually, right? To scale, I guess, thin them out each, I guess.
Yeah, by hand, which is not an issue, but time consuming. But like these are the little things that like I personally love doing, just because like it's like therapeutic to me, man. Like I'll sit here and just like, either I'll be jamming onto music, but like I'll just be thinking about what's going on, and then it just kind of lets me like escape like my reality for a little bit, and just lets me focus on like something outside of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's like the beauty of art, man. Like, and I encourage like as many people as possible to like be creative and like pursue something creative, not necessarily like for a career all the time, you know what I mean? But definitely like be as creative as you can be, man. Like be a little kid, like be silly, dude. Like be like laugh at shit, man. Like enjoy life, dude. Like life is so short, and like so full of like negative shit and like toxic people and toxic things. Like the least that we can do is like people, I think, is like be happy, man. Like, and I know it's hard, and like I know I'm like hippy dippy whatever, but appreciate like the moment, appreciate like what you have right now, and like things definitely like look a lot brighter when you start appreciating the little things, man. Like for sure. And like I don't know, like art, like I said, dude, like art is just something that I during high school, dude, like I didn't even have a girlfriend, dog, just because like all I did was like I'm not like I used to think it was a waste of time. Like I'm not gonna waste my time with relationship, because like that's just gonna tie me down. Like I'm just gonna party, like I'm a free spirit, like I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm young, like I'm wild. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
had the douchey attitude. And like right after high school, dog, like as soon as like I saw that like that meant absolutely nothing to anybody ever, I was like, oh man, like I done goofed. I done goofed a little bit, man. Like, I'm not like I don't like regret, you know what I'm saying? Like doing what I did in high school. Like I had a fantastic time. Like I met so many amazing people. Like I did a lot of really fun things. Like I did a lot of really crazy things that, you know, I think served me well and teaching me lessons, you know what I'm saying, in my own way, which I mean, again, looking back, very reckless and you know, a lot of things that I definitely would never ever do again. But you know, it's definitely been a crazy journey, man, for sure, for sure. But looking, you know, looking back and like looking to where I'm at right now, like art is really the only thing that's like, you know, been there for me and like been something that I've seen progress from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, partying will bring around people, and partying will bring around like, you know, quote unquote friends. But you know, after the party's over, man, like all those people are gone, dude. Like all these people are, you know what I'm saying? Like all these people are nowhere to be found, man. And you learn that shit quick, man. Like I got arrested like a year or two after I went to high school. Like we were all at a party. It was kind of like a little mini high school reunion. Uh, our dumbass friend decided to rent a mansion out from some old lady out in like a bumfuck town out here in Florida, like almost like an hour away from like where we live. And like the town itself, total shithole. Like you ask anybody out here and they're like, oh yeah, Polk County is a shithole, bro. Like what were you doing over in Polk County? Apparently there's some ballin' ass mansions out there, dude. Because like, all right, at the time, like I was still in school, but I was kind of doing my projection mapping stuff, and my friend was supposed to perform at said party because the kid had set up like a DJ booth. He set up like a mic, like he set up like all this stuff, so the party was like super popping. Like it was supposed to be like super awesome. So we get there, and this is like when I tell you like this is a freaking mansion, dude. Like I mean I'm not rich. My parents are not rich, but like we're doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, you know, we have a house, we have a car, we have food on like food on the table, like clothes on our backs. Like we have like we're doing what we need to be doing. These people had an indoor basketball court. Like like that was like what stood out the most, dude. I was like, these people really like are living lavish out here. So we're at this party, whatever, and the cops come obviously because the lady found out about, you know, freaking there's a bunch of people, dude. There's like 200, 300 people there at this party. She found out about the freaking massive rager going on at her house, and she calls the police. But she shows up and she slashes, like she doesn't slash anyone's tires, but she keys like every single person's car that was there at the party.
What?
Yeah, man, she was pissed, and like it was just a really shitty situation to be in. So then, you know, the cops are knocking on the door, whatever. Like a bunch of us are running, and I was pretty wasted at this point. I'm like I do remember like I was pretty out of it, and I was running, and next thing I knew, like I woke up in the like in front of the house in handcuffs, and like in that moment, I kind of like realized like who my friends really were, because like everyone was just like passing by, like just laughing at me, dude. And like I knew they weren't laughing at me, but like they like no one was really like checking up, and no one was really like asking how I was doing. Like no one, everyone was just like, yo, like this motherfucker just got wrecked. And the homie that I went out there with was the only person that like I like literally like saved my stuff, because like the people, like the cops were about to take it back to the state. Like they were about to take my computer, they were about to take my projector, they were about to take my clothes, like all my notebooks, like all my school stuff. And he was like, no, 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 dude, like I can't, like you can't take that, like that's his stuff, like I'm gonna take it back with me. Like he took my car, like And after that, I was like, yeah, like high school was a fucking joke, dude. Like I'm glad I did what I did. Like I'm glad I had a good time and whatnot, but like definitely like not not all it was cracked up to be. Looking back on it, like it's just so funny how like things just end up playing out, but you find out who's really there for you. You find out, I don't know, a lot of different things, man. Life is crazy.
That's such a sick story, and it's also really really inspiring. I'm just gonna say one thing though about in terms of the relationship thing. You don't, again, no one is judging anyone here. Keep in mind though that when it comes to creating anything, right? Even though you weren't actually an active artist yet until college,
Mm-hmm.
um, when if you choose not to involve yourself with someone, you know you're actually doing them a favor, because the amount of focus it takes to churn out creations and really do certain things in the art space, right? It may affect your relationship because you may not be contributing that same amount of focus to your partner. So
Right.
again, I'm not giving relationship advice here. I'm just speaking to a particular subject. Everyone who's listening, right? So that's the thing. A lot of times, it takes an insane amount of time in order to do like what we're doing right now, right? Like you need
Mm-hmm.
to really fully commit yourself, you know. But yeah, but hey, everyone live your life just like you said, right? On that note, though, uh, any last thoughts on the crown here, y'all? Any last opinions or thoughts?
Let's take a look on this. I guess I'm still definitely gonna tweak it out. Like I'm not the biggest fan of the bulge. There is something I know that will definitely make it look a little nicer. Because this is looking just super sharp.
Mhm.
Oop. Yeah. Give it like a bucket. Oh, I kinda like the idea of like a bucket hat crown.
That's sick, right?
Like I'm kinda digging that.
It looks like it. It looks like it right now.
Let me see if I can. I'm not like, which is weird because like I'm not a big bucket hat guy. Like to be 100% honest with you, like I'm more of a beanie guy myself, just because like the long hair. But I mean, I think the kind like the bucket look kind of works.
Yeah.
Kind of pimped out crown, dude. Like a tropical little. I mean, the colors are definitely going to change as well. Here, let me take all these materials off. These are just test materials. Again, like I did this, like this is super lazy work. These are just like for reference, just to kind of see how things are lined up. But let's take a look in this space. Looking okay. Now we're gonna work on. We said we wanted like a staff remote sort of a deal where like he's like controlling. What if we do like, you think it'd be cool if we had like if these two were like the, oh shit, delete that. If like these were kind of like the I could build something around these, to be honest. That would actually be kind of tight. Build like a little cage around him or something already. I mean, even though the cage is already there. Let's also do something else. Nope.
All right, y'all. So as you know, we always this is always about the process. You know, it's never about any final product. We just love exploring the minds of the artists that we invite as guests. And this piece is super dope, and I cannot wait to see if there will be a final product. Doesn't necessarily have to be a final aspect of this right here, but everyone, I would like to say thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with Cartoon Advisory and myself and checking out his process. Everyone, please show him some love in the Stream Text channel if you can.
Thank you guys all so much. Like I seriously cannot like express my gratitude for you taking the time out and like checking out the weird little process that is this. I will definitely be cranking this out If not tonight, definitely expect it on Super Rare at some point this weekend. Let's just say, like I'll just say Sunday. Like we'll say Sunday, drop it on Super Rare. You're ready for it. Whoever cops it, again, million appreciates. If you don't, whatever. I hate to like I've never been good at like self promoting. Like I hate to like be that guy. Like that's not what this is about. Like I seriously appreciate you guys like letting me come on and like do my thing. Thank you guys for all the input. Thank you guys for like taking an interest in like what I do into my life a little bit. Like this has been so much fun, and hopefully we could do this again sometime in the near future.
Yeah, sure thing, man. This was super inspiring. So yeah, and everyone else in the Stream Tech channel has said thank you. A ton of emojis, a ton of love, man. And we appreciate you. Thank you so
No,
much for coming through.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much.